Hi everybody. So thank you again for joining me today. Today we are doing part 7, and today we're going to talk about balanced nutrition and maintaining. And that is basically, for lack of better words, is what I eat and how I maintain my over 100 pound weight loss. So yesterday was nutritional deficiencies, and that's a different subject than today. I went into a little bit on the nutrition part yesterday, but today we're going to go more into balanced nutrition and how to find your balance and what you're supposed to eat and how to figure out how to maintain that. Going into weight loss surgery, everything is brand new. So you got to figure this stuff out. And, luckily having support around you, like I talked about in one of the previous videos, with the team of doctors that are working with you, they'll help you. They'll help you find that balance. So, but you can't just bank on, that too, because, life gets in the way. Vacations happen, parties happen, long road trips happen, longer than you expected work days happen. So there's a lot that comes in the way that you just have to learn how to take on. So first I want to talk about what my eating habits were before my surgery. So my eating habits before my surgery was no breakfast. I would maybe kind of pick on what the kids were having for lunch. I didn't have really a structure for myself, and then I would eat dinner. I didn't sit there and eat bonbons later in the night, as, fun as that might sound. I didn't do that. But, if we were out and about and we hit a drive-through, we hit a drive-through. There may be a day that I only ate dinner. There may be a day that, we go out to eat, and then, I have that, and, then I have whatever I want or whatever. I never at any point sat and ate twice the dinner. I never at any point sat there and ate a half gallon of ice cream. If anything, what I eat now is probably more than what I ate then. The difference is what it is that I'm eating, and that I'm fueling my body at the proper time that I'm supposed to be fueling it in the right way. So I didn't eat a whole lot of food at one time. I just didn't make the good decisions, and I wasn't fueling my body properly. So all that stuff, on top of not exercising and not moving my body, that just built up and built up and built up, to one day suddenly I woke up and I was 255 pounds. That's how it seemed anyways. So, after the surgery, you have to be really, really super careful, because there's a lot of stuff that you can't eat. You can't eat solid foods. I spoke about that yesterday for quite a while. You have to be careful with the foods that, you are bringing into your world after surgery, because you can't have, especially right after, anything with any added sugars. So, you got to really, really look, and it had to say, if I was getting like applesauce, it would have to say no sugar added. And I say applesauce because that's like the consistency of what I could eat. So my two most favorite things after surgery was applesauce, no sugar added, and I would literally just suck on a goldfish here or there, just to get the salt, the little bit of salt in there. So, and I also would put chicken noodle soup through the blender, and I would eat that. You had to look for different sources of protein, because with losing that much weight, at that rapid speed, you really have to make sure that your muscles aren't breaking down, because you don't want to lose all that, you don't want to lose all your muscle too, because that is really not going to be good, because you're going to be, the intention is for, you to live back into a new lifestyle, and, hopefully moving your body, and, you need your muscles, not only if you're working out, but you need your muscles to be able to function. So that's where the extra protein came in. And trying to find protein in liquid form was weird and really not appetizing and whatever. So anyway, we got past that. And then it was like trial and error in, what you could eat and what you couldn't eat, what your body would tolerate and what your body wouldn't tolerate. And this is something that, if people out there that have had weight loss surgery, or if you yourself has had weight loss surgery, this varies. This varies depending on the type of surgery you had, but also just depending on the type of person and you are, your insides, like what you can tolerate. So, I was able to, tolerate little bits of pretty much everything except for dairy and beef. it took me a full year to be able to eat dairy or beef. And the reason being, dairy and beef is one of the toughest things to digest. So when you've had gastric bypass, all of your insides are, they've basically been like readjusted, taken apart and put back together. So, your body has to work a little bit harder, especially during that healing process. So that was fine. I figured that out. I figured that out really quick. And, where I was in the mindset of doing whatever I needed to do to be successful. And, after the surgery, I was like, okay, I listened to my brain. I listened to my body. And I followed through with that. But I was eventually able to do that, come back to that stuff. And then, but still to this day, I really can't eat ice cream. I can take a couple bites, but if I couldn't sit there and eat a small ice cream, that would make me sick. Sometimes I will take one extra bite, and then that just puts me over the edge. And that with food in general, one of the things they stress is, you have to eat slow and you have to chew your food. I got a life lesson in chewing my food better than I was chewing my food when I ended up in the ER like 2 weeks ago, which I had also told you guys about, for a piece of food getting lodged in my intestine. But, the reason why, you really need to take your time and eat and to chew your food is because, first of all, your insides are different. The passageways from, your small intestine to your bowel are smaller than they were before. So not as much can pass through at one time. And you need that time for the message to get from your mouth to your belly to your brain that you're full. Because literally taking that one extra bite can make you sick. It totally can put you over the edge. And it sounds crazy, but it's really true. It's like when you eat, like I still really can't like eat and drink at the same time. I might be able to have like a little sip of water, but I could never sit down and drink a whole entire drink while I'm eating. It just, because it just takes up too much space in my belly. So, you really have to be careful with that. Carbonation, you can't have any sort of carbonation, which is fine because you shouldn't be drinking soda anyways if you're making a lifestyle change, right? But also like carbonated water. You can't drink. The carbonation really irritates your belly while you're going through, the healing process. So yeah, it was, after, as long I really listened to my body and I was really in tune with my body to what I could eat and what I couldn't eat. So basically, what it came down to is I got to the point where I was like eating every 2 hours and I just had to split that food up. I was kind of doing it. Well, I was doing it on my own, figuring out calories, figuring out when I was full. I just was kind of like eating, but then when I knew I was full, then I was full, or I knew exactly pretty much how much I could handle, and then I would be done. I did fall into a spot where, I did I would like gain 15 pounds and then I would lose it. And, I did kind of go up and down a little bit here and there. And, that was really hard, and that was really hard on your mind, and really hard on, just your brain and, your emotions and all that stuff, because you just end up going to a dark place. So about 3 years ago, I ended up trying the 21-day fix, and I did that more to find the balance of the food. When I started the 21-day fix, I didn't really need to lose weight, but I did it more for the balance, because what that does is, I didn't have to count my calories. I didn't have to weigh my food. I literally just had these portion cups that I just used. And I looked at my bracket of where, with my weight, what I should be eating. And, I broke it up that way. And, I might be able to eat everything I could eat in that whole day, but it was just broken up differently. I had to like break it up, break one meal up into 2 servings, and that's where like the eating every 2 hours came in. So, I had a new like aha moment when I was able to work with that, because for so long, for 7 years, 8 years, I was doing it by myself, and there was a lot of up and down. But I was still, doing better than I was before. So that was great. But it was great to find another tool that I could really use and utilize and work with, and, have a system and a tool that I could just use forever that would also help me maintain. That was key, because I had so much fear of falling backwards. I'm determined to not have gone through such an abrasive surgery and such a crazy recovery to not follow through and do what I'm supposed to do. So that has literally been a lifesaver for me. And I honestly would recommend that to anybody, just anybody in general. But, after having weight loss surgery, kind of use that as a guide. And if anything, like I said, you're obviously not going to be able to eat the portions yet, but you can get a good balance of what you're supposed to be eating for, your fruits, your vegetables, your carbs, and all that stuff. As far as pasta goes now, it works out good that, I'm on that I really pay attention to what I eat, because regular pasta I just can't do. It like balls up like a ball of lead and sits at the bottom of my belly. But I can do brown rice pasta, and I can do a little bit of that. So that, that I'm able to sit with. And it's just, you have to find what works for you. There are some days that I can eat more than other days, and I just keep it in check. And like I said, having a system really got me present to that, and just kind of helped me visualize and kind of keep track of where I was at through the day. Because, even for if you're somebody that, had weight loss surgery, or you're somebody that had a, any sort of weight loss whatsoever, once you get to your goal, that doesn't mean you just get to like have a free for all. If you're struggling with your weight, and you're working on trying to find something that works for you, and you're working on reaching your goal, this is something that you're going to have to watch for the rest of your life. I am never, ever going to have a time that I don't have to watch what I eat, just because I had surgery and I got to my goal. And, but now, like, I still, you have surgery, I've had a couple surgeries since, and I end up kind of falling back a little bit, and, when I can't do my regular workouts. So that is going to bring me into working out and moving your body, exercise. And, exercise, of course, goes hand in hand with having a good nutritional balanced meal plan. But, working out too, that does so much for your mind, right? It does so much for your mind. And, when you're in a position that, you've come so far, and you've reached so many goals, and you've passed so many milestones, and you've just gone through so much, to a point basically where you never thought you would be, you wanna do what you can to empower yourself, to stay there, and, support yourself to stay there, and moving your body and working out, and, having a regular exercise routine is gonna work it works the muscles in your brain, and it works the muscles in your body. And, you never know what you're gonna come up against after your weight loss surgery, right? So many things have come up. I had mentioned in one of my earlier videos that I had abdominoplasty. And, one of the things that helped me heal quickly from that was literally the worst surgery I have ever been through, like worse than my double knee replacements. It was really abrasive and really hard it's not because the surgery was done bad, it's just a really, really difficult surgery to, and it's a long recovery process. So it's just painful. Everything about it is painful. But my recovery on the inside went way better, at a better pace and a faster pace, because of my core, because of how strong my core was. So that aided me in that. I had no idea that I was going to be able to have that surgery at some point, so I was able to do that. When I had my double knee replacements, because my body was so strong, because my muscles were so strong, I totally, and I will say it, I kicked ass on my recovery with my double knee replacements. That recovery was by far the best recovery I ever had. I wouldn't have recovered that fast if I hadn't had the muscles in my body, if I hadn't had the stamina in my body, if I hadn't been on a regular workout routine and moving my joints and all that. So, that just puts it completes the trifecta. That my feeling, my belief is, there's a trifecta that you need to utilize to, with having a healthy lifestyle. And it's personal development, it's balanced nutrition, and it's fitness. And all of those three together that's where the magic is. That's where you're successful. You can't just do one and think everything's going to work in a circle. It's not. But you can't take on two of those. You can't take on the balanced nutrition and the fitness if you don't have the mindset. So at the top of that little trifecta pyramid is mindset. so I talked about that in an earlier video, so I won't go into that. But, I just wanted to fill you guys in on, how I maintain my weight now, and what I ate before and what the differences were. And, listen to your body. I eat slow, I pay attention, and I listen to my body. And sometimes I don't. If I don't eat slow, I know it. As soon as like I take that one extra bite, I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I know that that's what's going to happen. So I just do my best to avoid that. And there was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it's just escaping me right now. So anyways, thank you guys for hanging out, and I hope that you got something out of this, and I hope that you got something out of it that you can bring to somebody else that might help them when they're going through something like this. So anyways, everybody have a great day. Tomorrow is going to be my last part of this series, so I already have in mind what the next series is going to be about, so I'm super excited. That's going to be a fun one too. It's not going to be as heavy as this one, but it's going to be, light and fun, and I'm going to be able to teach you guys a lot. But I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for part 8. I'm not going to tell you what that part is yet, but thank you guys so much, and have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.